morning and welcome back to the second hour of LoveBabz LoveTalk. I've got guests. I know some of these people. Hey, Jennifer Newman,
Good
Associate
morning. Good
Artistic
morning.
Director over the Schwarzman Center. Lynn Peterson, I know you too, don't I?
Yes, you do. Good to see you, Babz.
Nice to see you. And Renasia, I don't think I know you.
No.
But well, hello and welcome to LoveBabz LoveTalk.
Hello,
Okay.
hello.
So now, last year I found out that the Schwarzman had a whole dance studio over there, a whole dance situation. I had no idea when I took the tour when they, 2 years, a year ago, and they gave us a tour, and there's a whole dance studio down there. I was like, whoa, I had no idea. So this year they come back at us with Everybody Dances. The Yale Schwarzman Center brings local and visiting dance artists to their dance studio to teach Sunday master classes, jazz, hip hop, salsa, modern, contemporary, precision dance, and more. And the community is welcome to come. So tell me about this. Everybody unmute themselves and let's have a everybody dance conversation.
Love it. Thank you, Babz, so much for having us on. Thank you, Lynn and Renasia, for joining this morning. It's great to have you in the room.
Thank you.
I guess it was over a year ago that I was invited into a conversation that I believe Alexis Robbins might have, someone else you also know, a local dancer, might have sort of brought together a convening of people, dance lovers, dance educators, choreographers, performers, around a conversation to discuss the lack of space for dance in New Haven. And I think, number of years, not to mention the COVID, the space, the access to dance studios and class rehearsal time space has really just sort of dried up, and it's either quite expensive and so not really accessible, and they're just or it's full of a very particular program. So in that meeting, it was really thrilling for me to sort of be in a room full of dance lovers, being a dance lover myself, and a dance supporter and a dancer choreographer, and so right away I was like, you guys come look at this dance studio that we have. And so I invited those in the room and to extend the invitation to come and see the dance space. And we just started to brainstorm sort of what are some of the most fundamental needs that the dance community in New Haven needed, right? And one of it is space and time. And then another thing we were talking about was sort of the fracturing of the community, from neighboring dance communities as well. It's like there's New Haven, but then there's also the region as you sort of move out. And so I'll stop there and let maybe Lynn chime in a little bit, because I think Lynn, I can't recall if you were in that meeting or not. Renasia, we met through one of the tours. You came through and saw the space, so I'd love to hear from you too as well.
Okay,
Yeah, sure,
Lynn, because I met Lynn and Alexis. Alexis is my tap dancing teacher. So I met them and I heard Alexis speak somewhere about the inaccessibility of places for folks to dance. And so I called her up, and then she called Lynn, and we had an initial meeting about, well, what can we do about this? How can I, and I chair the Arts Council, and I was like, well, how can I help? Because this just sounds ridiculous that, when we talk about arts, dance is often left out of the conversation. We talk about art, painters and writers and everybody else, but we never talk about the dancers and the performance art, that kind of stuff. So they convened some folks, which was really nice. And so go ahead, Lynn. I'm sorry. I just wanted to jump in, and I love the connecting of people. So.
No, I mean, this is great because I don't think Jennifer is aware of some of that, like the couple hops before that what led us to, I organized that meeting with Alexis last March, along with Babz also initially. And that meeting came out of a conversation that Alexis, Babz, and I had together the fall prior. And really just excited and grateful to you, Jennifer, for continuing to see this through, right? Because I feel like so often, and that was one of our big points of that meeting last March, was action, like really looking for commitment to action from institution stakeholders, which obviously Yale is a big one in town, really looking for people that have the keys and hold some of these spaces to commit to doing something new. And so I was really excited to see this class series start at Yale Schwarzman. And I just taught there last Sunday. And yeah, I mean, I guess we can get in the weeds of that as we go, but for sure, it's just great to offer more classes, in particular for adults. I think we've all been talking about there being a real, and in the larger dance desert, there's a desert of opportunity for grown-ups who want to come out and move. And, you know, it's like we do all this stuff for kids. And then, well, all of a sudden, you know, we get 20s, 30s, and no, you know, there's even fewer opportunities, I think, for adults to feel like there are spaces where they're welcome to go and stumble through, whether or not they're professionals at all, you know, like we all just need to move more. So yeah, super happy to be part of this beginning.
And so, Ranisha, what brings you to the table, to the space?
So I also took a tour at the Schwarzman Center. Was that sometime last year, summertime? And I met Alexis as well. She was pretty awesome. She gave me a few connections to some other spaces. So I am a former dancer of Cooperative Arts and Humanities and Dee Dee's Dance Center.
Yay!
Yep. So, you know, dance was one of my passions, as I explained to Jennifer. And during COVID, I went and opened my own LLC business to become Dance Center with the hopes of, you know, finding my own space. So that's how we all got connected, because Jennifer introduced me to the space in the Schwarzman Center, and then just to get a few connections with other people trying to find space for people like me to rent and create their own studio. But I also taught a class at the Schwarzman Center, and it was awesome. I did beginners, all levels, and I did a mixture of hip hop and jazz. It was a great turnout. From what I know, the people loved it. So I would love to teach again. I would love to be connected with a few people to just, you know, get the ball rolling again, because I feel like dance is a great expressive form for a lot of people. It's a connection for people to come together. And yeah, what's life without dance? Honestly, it's like music and dance. Come on, it's hand in hand.
So Jennifer, is the thinking to make this a part of what Schwarzman offers on the regular? Because it's a full calendar. I was on the website and I was looking. There's a full calendar of all kinds of dancing going on. Is that the intention? You have to unmute yourself.
I mean, it's like a full calendar, and it's also like not even enough. We have so many dancers and choreographers and teachers in the area that we could be doing it multiple times a week for a very long time. So yes, the intention is, again, is to, I think following up on what Lynn said, is this idea that here is a space, and I often think about the privilege it is to have a space, right? That space it's a gorgeous new studio with danceable floor and Marley and Bluetooth speakers. So it's easy for someone to come in and just pick right up and just start their class. And I'm so thrilled to see folks coming in from far and wide to take the class. I mean, so you have access the space, and then B, that it's free. And so I think that is an incredible opportunity to share dance with those that just want to come learn. The number of emails I get from folks that are like, I just want to take class. I've never danced before. Is that okay? And it's like, absolutely. So just giving the chance for someone to try something they've never tried before, rhythm dance, though we can't do tap with tap shoes. Sorry, Babz, in that space, but we can do rhythm dance. We can do rhythmic movement, percussive body movement in there. But it's really thrilling for someone who's never taken hip hop before to really give themselves a chance. Or, for example, in classical Indian dance forms or classical Chinese forms. which we'll be doing as well. So it is a chance to sort of show the breadth and diversity of dance styles, and also to give people access to their own bodies and to say, oh yeah, right, I can try this and it's fun. And I don't know, that's so my hope and dream is that we just do it and we can expand it to more classes more often during the week.
I love it. So Lynn, is this what you and Alexis imagined? Is this the beginning of what you imagine to make dance accessible? Because Alexis makes this really good point about, when people have music somewhere, you can have dancers there too, right? Like if you have music,
they should always be together, right?
Yes, right. So is this close to what you think should be happening?
I mean, sure, and it's a start, but now we also need more people to come on board with what Jennifer's done and being able to do with that space, others that have space in town, others that have access to the resources of a big space to open their doors and make something like this happen. So for sure, I mean, I think this is one example. Like Jennifer said, there's so many possibilities for classes. There's also possibilities for giving people creating work professionally to rehearse and bring their companies there and have, showings of the professional dance works that some of us teaching classes are also making with our companies. So there's certainly a range, and certainly, like Jennifer said, more that could be already happening, open those doors and we could probably fill them every day. But what I'm just really grateful for is the commitment to starting and taking that first step, because that's what seems to be lacking and hard for partners to do. And I don't know how to make them do that, but maybe this will inspire some people out there listening to come on board. And depending on the style of dance, not everybody needs a studio like Schwarzman that's all finished and polished. Well, that's beautiful, but there's lots of places that people can move and gather. And we just need people to be open to listening and trying to meet us halfway.
So Renasia, does this make you feel hopeful? These kinds of relationships and partnerships with other dance organizations and groups, does this make you feel hopeful about, the possibility of you opening your own space?
Yes, very hopeful. I know when I was talking to Jennifer last year, we discussed some important steps and some people, because I do work at the city of New Haven. So we were talking about some possible connections here with Yale and some of the people I know here, such as Adrienne Jefferson, who is the head director of the Arts and Culture Center. So we're just trying to see, put the pieces to the puzzle together to get to where we want. And it's happening slowly but surely, from where we were last year to what I did as far as teaching a class to where we are now on the radio station. I think moving forward, where our voices are being heard, we're getting out there. And I think too, just with as far as social media, TikTok, Instagram Reels, things like that. There's a world out there where, dance is really a fulfilling space for a lot of people. They're therapeutic too. So I think, yes, the connections are really good. And I think we're moving along pretty well.
So Jennifer, did you know that there was so much dance out there when you took this on? Like, do you come from a dance background? Because I'm looking at the calendar and I'm like, there's so much dance styles. I had no idea. I guess I had an idea, but when you see it on somebody's calendar as an offering, the possibilities just seem so
they pop out at you, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I guess when I think about, I'm not surprised by the number of styles that are out there. I've been a dancer since a very young age, and my first dance class with my mother, she took me to a belly dance class. So like from a very young age, it was like I was going with her to belly dance class or Afro-Haitian dance class, or the little kids running around with scarves. I've done that, all of that stuff, right? And then, so like, I've been very aware of the amount of dance, and I'm very thankful to my parents who were always sort of showed dance as a possibility for me, right? Like I grew up in Northern California, and I was lucky that the Ailey Company and DTH came regularly so that I had access to seeing dance. So when I first came back to Yale, back to New Haven in 2019, and one of the first dance companies that we were able to collaborate with the Schubert Theater on was to bring DTH back to New Haven after 20 years. It hadn't been in New Haven in 20 years. And so that was really thrilling to be able to sort of partner with another institution to bring a really seminal dance company back to the community. And then turnout for that was astonishing. I
Yes.
mean, right? You remember.
I was there.
The Schubert was full of people who wanted to see this company. And so for me, my eyes were just sort of like, and I think that was still, we were kind of in that edge of, pandemic coming back in. It was some of the first public performances we were able to do. And so my eyes just sort of like, there are people that want to see dance in this community, right? And when I was in grad school, I took class at New Haven Ballet. I took class at the Afro Culture House. There was an African dance class there. So I knew there was class, but it was always a little bit like you had to kind of discover, right? You had to kind of find it. And so it's very exciting to me to sort of be at the beginning in conversations with a community that is looking for space, and to try to create this kind of a sense of like they're there, right? A hub, a center where grown-ups can come, kids can come and say, oh, right, if I come here on this Sunday, I can take one kind of class or another kind of class. And it's just really, just as everyone's saying, it's the beginning. And I am hopeful that there will be that the energy will continue to spiral out, and to bring some more dance visibility in the area.
I love the point that you make, Lynn, about adults, because we all know, as some of us who are parents or had parents who thought dance was important, we all see that dance is important to children. I don't know anybody who has not stuck their kid in a dance class, a ballet class, all the things. But then something happened.
Yes.
There's a disconnect about what we knew as children, and then we get into respectable jobs and those other kind of stuff, and then no one dances like that anymore. And I think, to your point, Lynn, that people don't know where to look to find opportunities to dance as adults, So talk a little bit about why that's so important.
Yeah, well, I think it has become a chicken and egg. They don't know where to look because they haven't even thought about looking, because maybe they're not even having experiences like connecting with, feeling comfortable connecting with their own bodies anymore as a grown-up. And this is making a lot of generalizations and projections, but I do think that for sure, if it's just not word of mouth is, I feel like, still the best way, right? We talk to each other about what movies we've seen, what music we're listening to, what restaurant we ate at, oh, I went to this dance class. Like, it's not a part of the culture of conversation. Perhaps, I can't pretend to know everybody's experience of what grown-ups are talking about doing. Yes, maybe people talk about their workouts and exercise. I don't know, but I think for whatever reason, and I put this on the dance community too, I'm not necessarily putting this all on everybody else, like, that hasn't been something that we've cultivated an audience for. Is not only do we want you to come buy tickets and see the performances, which that's really important, I want people to have an experience moving themselves, because that's the magic. Like, I love doing it. I'm already on board. And I love performing, and because I still do, but it's even more precious to me when I watch that grown-up come in the room and see them feeling the magic and moving, the power, the release, whatever all the things are for themselves, and harnessing that energy and connection to the art form. And then I hope maybe that will also trickle out and connect back to that person. Maybe the next time there's a chance to go see a local dance performance, they'll come out and be on board with us, because there's more of an understanding of why it's important and why it's valuable, because they have had a direct experience with it themselves. So that, I feel like, is something that I'm really excited about as a dance advocate, as a professional dance worker, is trying to give more grown-ups an experience. Like, even in some of our performances these days, we're finding ways to start where we're getting the audience moving themselves as part of the performance. So it's not always so separate to like, this is coming to class and this is coming to see the professionals do what we do, you know, let's just all move together. And so I don't know all the reasons why it happens, but I think for sure many schools and things not, for whatever reason, fighting for it. Because I mean, certainly I don't have a school. Hats off to all those people in Asia that want to try and open them, because it is no easy feat. But it is a demographic I think we need to make feel welcome. Let them know they're invited. Don't just assume that they know. I think that's part of it too. Oh, people know they can come take this class. No, we have to one by one go out there and invite them and say, no, this is the place for you. This is the place for the grown-ups to come and not feel like they're dancing next to a 13-year-old who's, you know, in a totally different space. Because that's a totally different place. I remember growing up when I was training, there were always like teen adult classes at the school where I trained. I grew up mostly in Indiana, but there were always grown-ups walking in and out, like taking these classes, tap, jazz, ballet, you know, modern. And anyway, I'm rambling now, but yes, I think there's a lot of reasons for it, and I'm trying to do what I can to chip away at some of them.
Go ahead, Ranisha.
I want to add to Lynn's point. I feel like the disconnect too, as we get older is, you know, like you said, with the jobs and, you know, people careers and lifestyle, kids and things like that. So how I try to connect it, me being an adult now, you know, seeing what people are more into, I'm offering now this year workshop classes where it's like working out and dance at the same time. So I feel like, you know, people more so as adults, one are thinking about a healthy lifestyle. Oh, I need to work out. Oh, I need to get back in shape. Oh, back in my day, and you know, this, that, and the third. So I'm just like, okay, we're gonna get you back in your day in a fun, you know, kind of funky way. So we're gonna work out, but we're gonna do some dancing. And not for nothing, I come from a background of beautiful African American women who loves to dance in a Jamaican culture as well. So, you know, they see the younger generation out there dancing, and it's not like Stella got their groove back, but it's kind of like, you know, you guys can do the same thing. They're like, wait, how do you guys do this? And how do you move your body this way and that way? So for me, it's, you know, offering them classes to make women just really feel good about themselves, no matter how old you are, where you forget that, oh, wait, I'm working out. I'm working this body muscle. Wait, I forgot my body can move like that, you know? So
sign me up, Ranisha. Sign me up. Ready. Sign me up. I'm coming. Show me where to go. So Jennifer, this is all free.
That is correct. Yes.
Like, this is world-class teachers teaching for free. How do you make that happen? How is that even possible?
You know, it's one of those things that by placing it into our seasonal budget as a plan, just as we would bring in an artist to perform, whether it be a musician or a dancer or a theater maker or a visual artist. By placing the dance classes into our budget, we're able to support it at the moment as a free offering. So we are able to pay the teachers for their time and make this classes available to dance lovers at no cost, which is it again. You know, I mentioned the word privilege. It feels like a great privilege and an honor to be able to do that at this moment in time. So it is. I guess one thing I wanted to talk about a little bit is this idea that dance, building an audience for dance, to Lynn's point, you know, sometimes what I hear people say is they don't know how to talk about dance. When they see it, they're like, I actually don't know how to talk about what I saw. Dance is a kind of a poetic, right? You know, music, folks have a kind of everyday interaction with music. It's in their car, it's on their phone, it's in the grocery store, right? It's everywhere. But whereas dance, when you sit and watch it sometimes, because you're watching someone's expression and the way they're interpreting something in a language that is a physical language. And I think people maybe get a little intimidated. They're like, I don't know how to talk about what I saw. But once you start to do it yourself, you can start to understand, oh, what they're doing, that's hard. Or that's like, oh, that's really interesting. I never thought about moving that way. And so just by little, the more that you watch it, the more that you participated, you start to develop the language to talk about it. And then that makes it easier for someone to actually participate too, right? It doesn't feel like something that's over there.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay. So what's the next dance class?
We have one this weekend, actually. So this Sunday, because everybody dances, we're able to do offer the classes for the artists that are coming to perform, as well as our community members who live and work here in the area. This weekend, we have Baye and Asa. They're a duo that is performing on Friday and Saturday night at the Schwarzman Center in the Dome Room. Baye and Asa are from New York, so they're coming up on the train. And they are doing a duet that they have created, and they're also showing a new work in process for 5 dancers, which is really exciting to watch something in development. And then we'll also be talking about that piece in development. So for the audience that is able to come, they'll witness a finished work, they'll witness something that's in process, and then be able to talk with the artist about the process. And then the artist will then premiere that work at a later date at another venue this spring. So they will be teaching on Sunday. Baye and Asa, they are using West African dance rhythms as well as hip hop rhythms in their choreography style. So they're 2 individuals that have grown up together, have known each other since they were very little kids, and have built this career and this work process, this process and style together.
Wow, that's pretty fascinating.
Nice.
So how long is this series running?
We are currently going into May.
Wow.
So it's not exactly every Sunday, but it's pretty often. So you'll have to check our website, schwarzman.yale.edu, to look up Everybody Dances to see the actual, to be able to register for the upcoming classes. But we have, after Baye and Asa, we'll have the Dance Theater of Harlem do a master class. We also have Rennie Harris from Rennie Harris Pure Movement, who will come and do a master class. We have Indian dance forms with Sarada. We have a Chinese dance form. Also, we have Studio 860 from Hartford coming down to teach a class, as well as Lauren Horn, also from Hartford, coming to teach class, and Alexis Robbins will be teaching as well. Wow. So that's just to name a few, but it's a long list, and yeah, we do hope people come in and check it out.
So are you surprised at the success and the interest for dance?
Well, gosh, I say speak that out. You know, I'm not surprised by the number of teachers. I consider that a success. The number of teachers have said yes, who said, yes, I want to take a Sunday, please give it to me. That actually is just more affirming, right? That there is a space, that there's a need. So that is actually, I'm just very, very, very happy that we're able to provide space and time for folks. And pleasant. I think the one time that I would say surprised is that when someone came with with 2 young children, and she said, I've driven in from New Jersey to take this class. Like, so someone to do that, because, you know, she wanted to take with that teacher, and then she brought the kids to also experience. So then you have this intergenerational experience, which is so beautiful. And, you know, again, reminds me of my mother bringing me. It's like, you know, taking class with your parent is just such a beautiful experience. But that I think is the distance, you know, because it's not like Jersey has like a dearth of classes. You can take class in Jersey, but someone's like, I want to go there to take that class. That was, I think, a real pleasant surprise.
I love it. I love it. Well, I've enjoyed this dance conversation. I love that this is running through May, so that people don't feel like, oh my God, it's just January and then I missed it. You know, they can go to
plenty of opportunities
website and maybe people will pick something that they ordinarily wouldn't know to pick.
Absolutely. Right. You know, really, I would say go forth, take something that you're just like, I'm so curious, what would that be? Go for it, take it, you'll learn something, you'll try something new. And, you know, the idea is that right now, at least the offering is to just say, try, right? To try it. We may get to the version in time where it's like these classes are more advanced, or these classes are, you know, we're going to start to have a diversity within the levels. But right now, it's just free dance class. Come move your body, you know, come experience the beauty that is dance in all of its forms.
And the Schwarzman Center is gorgeous, right? Like, I mean, the place is it's lovely.
It's lovely. And it's, like I said, it's a brand new studio that's really built for dance, intentionally built for dance. I mean, I'm sure Lynn and Renasia, you can speak to the number of places we've all danced. And so sometimes it's really nice to come into a space that's purpose-built and it's like, okay, this is a proper space for dance. And there are many beautiful places to dance that are not sprung on the floor, sprung floors and, are not exactly warm, in very cold spaces for dance as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, please come and enjoy it. And on Sundays, I mean, it's relatively quiet in the spaces, but we're hoping to, the folks come to see the performances at night and experience a different version of the center as well, because it changes throughout the day.
Oh, nice.
Well, I so appreciate this conversation this morning. Dance is near and dear to my heart. I've rediscovered it now that I'm 60 and I love it. And so I think this is such a necessary conversation. Thank you so much, Jennifer Newman, for all the work that you're doing to the Schwarzman Center and making this so accessible to the community. Lynn, it's always good to see you in Renasia. Sign me up, girl. I'm coming. Let me know where you're going to be.
Yes. And Babz, thank you so much for making a space and allowing us to talk about the program today and to let us talk about dance today.
My pleasure. Thank you all so much. And I will see you out here in these dancing streets.
Lovely.
Yay. Thanks, Babz. Thank you.
Thank you, Lynn.
Thank you. Thank you, Harry.